I think probably, I grew up in a Democratic household, and Roosevelt was a hero. And I got interested, and I had polio. And I think probably that's what got me started. And then I began to realize that it was a much bigger story than that. And that was the great, when I suggested to Ken, why don't we do all three of them? He jumped on it because he has absolutely no fear of any subject. It's one of his great qualities. And I just find them endlessly interesting.
Of course, you'd written about them a long time and also worked with Ken Burns for a long time. You naturally suggested it, I guess, and finally...
Yeah, we talked about doing one or another of them.
Yeah.
And then we reached a point, I guess it was when we'd finished the war, when he was looking for something, other things to do, we put up a list of things. We do that every so often. And I suggested we do the Roosevelts. And he jumped at the idea. And it was, I mean, it's the joy of my life to do it. Who knew I was going to be able to do it? And I went to Oberlin College, and I was trained as a painter. And so I have a kind of a visual imagination, I think. And a lot of the stuff that happened when I was writing the first books, I do sort of see the scene, and I have to be careful because sometimes you can see the scene and invent things, and I don't do that. But you know, you find out what the weather was like, and you know what that road looks like, and so on, and it becomes a sort of pageant in your mind. Well, to have it all these years later turn up on a screen and look more or less the way it did when I thought it up is just a great thing for me. I just loved it.
Now, I know you say it's a banal question generally, but here I have to ask, were you surprised by the runaway success of the series?
Yeah, and very pleased. And I don't know, we were talking about this before.
Yes.
I don't know why that is. I mean, it really is, I don't know what the numbers are, but they're staggering. And I think more people watched it than watched the Civil War, for example, which is amazing to me.
That was 30 million for the Civil War or something? Or?
Yeah, something like that. And that success astounded me. I don't know, I think people are interested in seeing government work and leaders lead. I don't know what else it is.
They also like riveting human stories.
And it's a great story.
Yeah.
And they're great characters. And we managed to do it so that if you watched one, you really did probably want to find out what happened to those people in the next one.